Hello, this is Gregory Cowan. I'm here to talk about the academic skills assignments. We have the academic skills assignment 1, which is the individual assignment, 1,250 words, evaluative management report, which you will write about a topic of your choice with the tutor's approval, a topic related to business management about which there is a significant literature which you will be able to report upon. You may choose an organization or an industry where you've previously worked, but it should be an organization about which and an industry about which there is a literature in the business management journals. For example, retail, a particular aspect of management within retail, an aspect of management within, for example, transport, healthcare, etc. Any area that you've worked or would like to work and about which there is a good literature from which you should choose 9 articles from a range of authenticated sources. You should choose the 6 most relevant and the 3 least relevant and discuss with your tutor why you think those 6 define the topic that you would like to research and write about for your secondary literature survey. Be sure to use the Harvard style of referencing, in-text referencing, using the author's surname and the year of publication. And with every in-text citation, there should be a corresponding reference list citation with the year and the author, the title of the item, and the publication details, including the online location and access date, if the item is an online item, which most items are now that we're in the lockdown. We are using mostly online items. And if you check the Harvard referencing guide for our university, you'll see that most online items require a URL, a universal resource locator, web address, plus a access date. The references that you're using should also be checked for fact checking and authenticated. So do not use references from plagiarists or unauthenticated websites. Use corporate authors or human authors who are knowledgeable about their field. Not students or children, but people who have done research in their field enough to be an authority that you would want to cite in your first year university work. I suggest you, once you've read your 9 articles or more, then do another check to see whether your 6 best articles are a complete, comprehensive coverage of the things that you're interested in. You can develop your bibliography a bit more. Write your draft. Start with the main points that you want to make, the main findings of the research from the secondary literature, and your conclusions and recommendations about what should be done based on your research. Do not use opinion, but do evaluate and criticize and analyze the literature that you have read. Complete your assignment with an introduction and an abstract and a contents page outlining the main structure of your assignment. Make sure your paragraphs are a reasonable length of around 150 to 200 words at the most. Make sure your sentences are well structured, and use your own language. Don't use any language with which you're not familiar, but make sure that you have checked any words that you are not confident in using, and then submit your 1,250 words plus or minus 10% to Moodle using the technique shown by the assessments. So you go to Moodle, to the page for academic skills, and turn to your group, find your name, and then upload your assignment to the small cloud alongside your name. The link should be active from 2 weeks prior to the due date for the assignment, and the due dates for each assignment are shown in the student hall. I'm going to talk about the second assignment, and the second assignment for academic skills is the primary research assignment. We intend that you will use the same broad topic as your assignment 1, but where assignment 1 is all based on secondary research and existing literature, your second assignment, assignment 2, will be based on primary research techniques. For primary research, we mean primarily interview and questionnaire or survey. When you're designing your questionnaire and your survey, think about questions, inquiries that you want to pursue which relate to the secondary literature on your topic. If there's an issue that's been raised in the literature in your first assignment, that could be an issue which you could test through primary interviews and primary questionnaires. You'll be contacting one person for an interview and at least 3 survey recipients for your questionnaire. The interview, you can use any of the techniques that we have described in the module. You can use a structured, a semi-structured, or an unstructured interview, and you should transcribe the interview, which no doubt you'll be doing using some kind of social distancing, either over internet telephony or telephone or some other distanced method. Transcribe your interview results and then analyze those results in order to extract the important findings from what you have researched. Similarly, when you are designing your questionnaire instrument for your primary research in assignment 2, think about the questions that you would like to investigate related to the secondary literature in assignment 1. If you find there are certain interesting aspects of business management in the industry that you're considering, for example, the health and beauty care industry, the restaurant industry, the transport industry, the construction industry, or whatever other industry that you're interested in, you find a business management study area that you've been able to research in assignment 1, think about a question which has come up and which relates to that secondary literature, and then test that out using your questionnaire instrument. So when you design your questionnaire, structure your questionnaire with up to 10 questions. Each of the recipients of your questionnaire will respond to your questionnaire, and then you will have up to 10 questions. The first couple of questions could be demographic, simple things like perhaps to do with the history or the age group of the participants. Then in the middle of the questionnaire, you could have some more detailed and specific questions. You can use category questions, you can use value questions, sliding scales, or other devices. Try to vary the different types of questions that you use in your questionnaire to make it interesting. And of course, make sure that your questionnaire recipients are aware that participation is voluntary and that they may leave the interview at the questionnaire at any point. They're not under any pressure to complete the questionnaire. So sort your results from your questionnaires, collate all your responses, and analyze your responses to see what your responses are saying. You can do this quantitatively and qualitatively. For example, you can quantitatively count the number of occurrences of certain words or numbers in the responses. And qualitatively, you can describe subjective findings which you have found came out in the responses. You could also describe any findings from your interview and questionnaire responses which were not anticipated. That's often one of the most interesting things of research, is that you ask open questions and you are open to any kind of response that you're given. And sometimes you find responses may not be what you had anticipated. And then you would interpret what those unanticipated responses would mean in relation to your inquiry. So for assignment 2 for academic skills, describe carefully your research design in terms of your questionnaire questions and your questionnaire sample group, your target group, and how you went about collecting your data. And then describe carefully how you collated and analyzed your data, and finally explain what you have interpreted from your data analysis. And you can conclude by relating the findings of your primary study to your initial assignment for assignment 1. As with assignment 2, as with assignment 1, ensure you incorporate a bibliography with any methodology or other information referenced using Harvard referencing, with an in-text reference as well as a corresponding reference list entry. Give your publication details, including web links for your online references, including access dates. And be sure to put a title on your work with your name and your student number. And we recommend that you use 12 point Times New Roman, for example. so that it's readable. Use 1.5 line spacing on a standard A4 vertical format with 20mm margins, something like that. And try to use a consistent style throughout. If you'd like to see some examples of evaluative reports, you can see some of the examples we've put on Moodle. I've put a couple of links for reports and for essays on the Moodle that you can look at, but also please feel free to ask your module tutor when you're discussing your topic. Good luck with your work. Remember that it will take more than one draft to finalize. And when you're checking through your work with your module tutor, try to summarize what you've done and to give them an overview of what you have aimed to do and what your findings will be, so that they can support you in making a strong argument in terms of your evaluative report and your primary research for assignment 2. That's the end of the video for assignment 1 and assignment 2 for academic skills 2020.